Yeah, wouldn't hire me to do any of your garden work.
Take a look at that number. Almost $6,100. Wow. Welcome to Dad Planet. Brendan here. Another What Sold on eBay video. This is for the week of July 15th through the 21st. Now, this is, in my opinion, what exemplifies the potential of this platform is if you just continue to learn, continue to refine, strive to get better, and aspire to something a little bit more. Whether you want to do this full-time or you want to do this part-time. Is this an anomaly of a week in sales? Possibly, maybe. Do I expect them to all go like this? No. But that's crazy. That's a crazy number. Ideally, they would all look like that. And I think there's the potential to do that. But it takes a little bit of work. So another What Sold on eBay video. Welcome. If you're new, welcome. Great week to be new. Great first video to watch. If you've been here all along, thanks for sticking with me. We're going to talk about 10 Bolos from this week of sales. I don't show every single sale. And you know, there may come a time where I want to do videos every single day and just show you what I sold and show you what I sourced, show you what I shipped. But this is kind of how we do it right now still. So, you know, it's about all I have time for at this point. It takes a long time to like get these videos going when you're an idiot like me, and it, you know, takes you 3.5 years to figure out how to use rendering software. So anyway, yeah, let's get into the hot 10 Bolo list for resellers for the week. I'm going to link my McDonald's Bolo video in the description because I encourage you to go watch that. I don't know how long ago it was, but I sold a playset that was it was the other version of the like drive-through. And I can't remember what I sold that for. It's in the video. $200, $250, I don't remember. Anyway, this one sold for $250, and it had a bunch of the food items, where the other one that I sold just had the it was just the drive-through. But yeah, look at all of these cool like food pieces that came with this unit. It makes sounds. The doors, you push a little button on them, and the drive-through doors, the white doors open. A really neat piece. Not as tall as the other one that I sold, but I priced this at $250 and I got it. I found it on Facebook Marketplace for $20, and I am so glad that I got to it quickly because he wasn't that far from me, the gentleman that was selling it, and he had posted this within 5 minutes of me catching it. So, ooh, early bird gets the worm, I guess. You got to be quick on Facebook Marketplace. So, yeah, this thing is really sweet. So, awesome sale. The buyer that made this purchase, oh, and I should mention that I think it sold in 2 days, 1 or 2 days. It was $250, $25.46 in shipping, and then $23.76 in tax. So they're just under $300, $299.21 all in, and again, $20 for me. What a score. Yes, obviously, keep your eye out for old school McDonald's paraphernalia. These drive-thrus are a guarantee when you get them, and do not be afraid to ship them. This one was easy because it broke down. The other one I had to ship all together, like double boxed with some of those big heavy duty boxes because I couldn't break it down. I either couldn't break it down or I was afraid to break it down. I don't remember exactly how it went. But this one could be broken down fairly easily. So yeah, awesome sale. I hope you guys find it too. All right, let's move on to the next one. Can you believe a Goodwill had a brand new factory sealed bread maker marked $14.99? Well, they did. And I bought it and I sold it for $225. You can see I have 3 pictures. Here's 1 picture, here's 2 pictures, and there's the factory staples in there. So model number on this is SDYD150. It didn't sell right away. It took maybe a month or 2 to sell, but $15 for a $225 return. Awesome. Buyer paid $20.07 in shipping, $17.77 in tax, for a total of $262.83. And again, $15. You'll see, I sell a lot of bread makers right now. I sell a lot of sewing machines right now. Speaking of sewing machines, we'll get into the next one. This is a vintage white brand heavy duty sewing machine. The model number on this was 1755. Now, for comparable sales purposes, I don't think, if I remember correctly, that I could find a comp, right? And when that happens, if I see other model numbers that are similar, like the white brand sewing machine, but maybe it was a 1600 model or so, I'm making those numbers up, but and they sell in a price range that like looks good to me, I'll price it similarly. So I think that's what I did in this instance. I was like, I'll just shoot high because the other ones they look like they sold high, and that's what I got. I got full price, $149.99. Buyer paid $22.51 in shipping and then $11.43 in tax. So they're $183.93 all in. This cost me $9.99. I test all of my sewing machines and I upload the videos to prove that they are functioning. So put that in there. Let's move down. You can see the video right there. Really kind of like not the best quality video, but I was pretty confident because the brand sold strong that this model would sell without comparable sales to base it off of. And yeah, just like I said, it was a lovely, well cared for machine that looked as such when it was in the store. And so I thought, you know, if they kept it well and it looked like this, there's a chance that it's probably okay. And quite honestly, like the thrift stores don't want to deal with these things. They don't want to set them up, test everything. They're throwing it out on the floor. So these are good items to flip. And again, if you used to watch my previous video, you know I can have them serviced and even pay for, pay to have it serviced if it makes sense. So let's say, for example, this thing was $10, and I could take it next door, and it would cost them, it would cost me maybe an additional $20 or $30 to have them service it. I would still do it because if I know I'm going to get $150, it's still a good return. So growing your network, we talked about that last video, and yeah, like I said, I sell a lot of sewing machines. Here's evidence that I sell a lot of sewing machines because the next one is a sewing machine. It's actually a serger sewing machine. The model number on this one is Husqvarna Viking Husky Lock 905 is the number there. This also sold for full price. Now, I found this on Facebook Marketplace, so I paid up for it. I paid $125, but this had sales history and data with which I could very easily work off of. So I know for sure I could get in like the $250 to $350 range. $350 was my ceiling. That's where I started it, did the video, and it sold for $350. So $125, they paid $350, $48.76 in shipping, and then $35.87 in tax. So $434.62 all in. Please, if you want to expand, you want to grow, and you're not purchasing these things for fear-based reasons, try to change your mentality a little bit, because these are often priced very low in all stores and sell for very high most of the time. And, you know, there's not much more to, you know, testing it with the foot pedal, you know? I mean, you'll know in most cases if something is awry. One of them I purchased you would hit the foot pedal, but the needle wouldn't go up and down, and no other, and I, went to my resources and they were like, no, this one sounds like it's shot. No problem, I'll just part the pieces out. No sweat, no big deal. Don't be afraid to source and sell sewing machines, big money there. All right, next one is an exciting one. Everyone's on like a vintage t-shirt, whatever right now. It's like the big thing. Like everybody's getting into it. Everyone's doing videos on their vintage t-shirt hauls. I have a vintage t-shirt haul that was an absolute disaster. I'll link that one in the description too. You might as well see it. But yes, the company that I purchased this from, I saw on Instagram. Do not buy from them. Oh my God. But I'll link that video in there too because it's pretty funny. So this was $1.99 in a very small Goodwill. And I held on to it for about a year, and I wasn't going to take a penny less than $2.50. Well, eventually I took less than $2.50. It sold for $237.49, and $3.99 to ship, $10.26 in tax. So $251.74 all in. I got positive feedback. This is a grail to a lot of people. I think this had either in between 125 and 150 watchers when it finally sold. So I found it in a lot. There were like 6 or 7 vintage t-shirts, and all of them sold for over $50. 50 here, 100 here, 150 here. This was the grail of the grails that I found. So this obviously came out of a closet of somebody that loved doing the whole concert thing and had a bunch of these t-shirts that were really valuable. And this is the last one that sold. So Pink Floyd, The Wall, just another one where I like maybe I should keep this and thought about it for 2 seconds. It was like, no, I'm going to sell it because that's my MO. So double-sided front and back, It was in awesome condition. The only comp that I could find at the time, the brand was Winterland, by the way. They that other comparable did not have the tag. And again, I listed this a year ago, and I haven't looked at comps. I haven't looked to see what the market did in a year. I just was this thing is rare. I'm going to hold out, and we'll see what happens. So the one that I did have Intel on was missing the tag. This one was not, and it didn't have any holes that I could think of. I don't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, I didn't mention holes, so there must have been none. So yeah, the best condition I've seen for this shirt. What an awesome sale. Man, I love vintage t-shirts for this reason. So always scour the stores for them, and yeah, we'll move on to the next one. Pretty sweet. Okay, this is a vintage Ferga doll. I will show you the stamp on the back here. This is the second Ferga doll. You can see right here it says Ferga, Italy, and there's a little, it looks like a gingerbread man. That's the stamp there. So I sold a Ferga, I believe it was Alta Moda, and I think her name was Sylvie, in between $150 and $250. I don't remember. This was about a year ago. She was a blonde doll. She was shipped overseas to Italy. These dolls are very, very expensive. I think the name on this doll was Mora Ani, but I couldn't find a comparable, and I looked for a long, long time. And when that happens, I price high. So I've seen similar dolls in the like 15-inch range that were made in this time period that were really only selling for $30 or $40, sometimes $50. I shot for $100 because I thought she was unique. Her eyes were like orangey brown, really, really beautiful. No lazy eye, like when you move her up and down. They worked really fluidly. Her skin tone was great. Her cheeks were real like chubby. They were really, really cute. And it sold within a couple of months for full price, $100. Buyer paid $10.90 in shipping and then $9.29 in tax. So she or he, I think it's a she that bought it, is $120.18 all in, and this doll only cost me $3.99. This is another quintessential thing that the stores will miss because it's a baby doll. Who cares? Slap a $3.99 price tag on it, and we're on our way to the next thing. And that's where your trained eye will make you a lot of money. So what an awesome sale on this one. And always keep your eye out for the Ferga brand, F-U-R-G-A in dolls. All right, basic stuff here. Nothing. Again, one of the things that you pop an $8.99 price tag on it, and you move on. So this said latte maker. I knew to look it up. Model number was BVMC-EL1PF. It sold for full price, $159.99. Buyer paid $21.50 to ship, $17.06 tax, $198.55 all in for a coffee maker. Think about that. It's just a coffee maker. It's a latte maker, but it's just a coffee maker. $200. Pretty sweet. And it only cost me $8.99. This is why we're in the business, you know. Huge return on a small investment. Sleek looking machine. Filter had seen better days. Certainly still usable. Easy to replace if necessary. So, you know, I wiped it down a little bit and sold it for $160. What can I tell you? Obviously, you see certain themes in these videos. Like some of this very basic stuff goes for a high dollar amount. I'm looking for a certain type of buyer that wants these things. So, slam dunk. Yeah, don't be afraid to source furniture. Now, I held on to these. I feel like it was like the 9 to 12 months I've been holding on to these curio cabinets. I was just about to put both of those right behind me and fill them with all of the cool things that I either have or was planning on having. Within 15 minutes of making that decision, they sold to a man here locally for $400. He paid $30 in tax, so he's $430 all in. Each one of them cost me $20, so it was $40. I had them for a long time, again, like I said, but they were retailed. They retailed, I think, for the pair of around $2,500. There's an Amazon listing for these that I was able to look up and get some of the information on. That's how I knew it was the seasons style, and the back is reversible, so you can keep that white back, or you can pop it out and flip it, and then the back becomes red. You can see right here that board slides out, so you can flip that around, give it a nice country look. But yeah, 400 smackaroos on these things. Again, don't shy away from furniture for sure. I was never going to ship these, so that's probably why it took a little bit longer. Just a local sale, and yeah, the guy was like, it's only about 25 minutes from me, so another awesome sale. All right, next one. This is one of the fun ones for me. Now, this is an instance where when I looked up chem C3000 and I did comps, the lowest priced one for a new unit was $199, and so I undercut everyone at $179.99. It still took about a month to sell, maybe 3 weeks, but it did sell for full price, and it only cost me $10. So it was brand new. The seal is still on those bags right there, and there's a lot of glass in there. So I was like, man, shipping could be, but the way that the package is sealed and the styrofoam is sealed, and how like tightly like indented those compartments into the styrofoam, I was pretty sure that with decent packing, it'll arrive to the destination with no problems. So it just, when you were shaking it around, it's like, man, listening to that glass rattle is like an accident waiting to happen. But that was a risk again that I was willing to take, and I'm happy I did because there were comparable sales for it, and I knew it was going to sell eventually. So $180 on 10, and a lot of these like are just monster sales. I mean, everybody just went crazy this week in my store. So I'm extremely thankful. So yeah, another good sale. And then the last one here is just an absolute banger. I have never wanted to keep an item more than I wanted to keep these two because the sound was unbelievable. So these are Walsh 2 speakers, vintage, highly collectible, highly desirable. They cost $10 at a Goodwill. I wasn't even the one that sourced them. I got a phone call from a woman who I've become friends with, who I do deals for when there's something that is like heavy like this that she doesn't want to deal with, or she just likes to shop and sells things every now and then. I think she works at like a high-end thrift store just part-time, like 1 day a week. She called me and she said, Brendan, hey, there's these speakers here, why don't you look them up? I looked them up and I said, buy them. So she bought them, I'll pay her the money, and I'm going to split the fee that we get on this. So they sold for full price, $650. Now, it was a risk because they had to be tested. So I had to have the right receiver, I had to have the right components, the right cables to make it all work. But I got it done, as you can see in the video, and they sold for full price, $650. Buyer paid $77.73 in shipping, $40.62 in tax. So they're $768.34 all in. And again, this cost me $10, but I will end up splitting this deal with this woman because she was nice enough to think of me when she saw them. And there was just no way that she was going to deal with two like 30-pound speakers and then try to deal with shipping them somewhere. So I had them listed on Facebook Marketplace also. They sold on eBay, which I figured they would based on comparable sales. So that is it, my friends. $6,100. Lord, let them all be like that. Not just for me, but for all of you people watching. If you are not subscribed yet, please do, because I have no intention of slowing this down sales-wise. So it's going to be really tough to meet my listing goal for the beginning of August 1st, but my sales, I'm not complaining. It's because things are selling through so quickly now still that it's working. So like the video, leave me a comment, let me know if you are like amazed by any of this, or if you've sold some of them in the past, if you learned something. Keep the discussion going, and yeah, man, I'm out of here. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.